And away we go.
So what do you think that Ukraine will happen to Ukraine?
Well, I can't be too sure.
Do you think
But I know
Zelensky will get a run off into the sunset with all the money he stole from us? Or do you think he'll end up being a fall guy and get murdered?
not. He won't
And
get
then
away
they,
with
and then some
a lot
people,
of it.
and then they steal the money from him that he actually made.
He's not going to run away with all of the money he's gotten from foreign aid.
Certain people I know think I'm crazy for saying that Zelensky's a dictator. He is. You sell opposition. You basically send your troops, send the fucking Ukrainian people to fucking death, to an early grave. And for what? A war they cannot win. Trump's just being brutally honest and saying what we all truly think. It's just that frickin' certain of our politicians in Britain are just too scared to say what we truly think. He's a dictator. Zelensky is a dictator. I'm not going to hide it. I'm sick of people saying, and the fact that they're saying, oh, he's not a dictator makes me believe. Reformers saying, oh, he's not a dictator. No, it just makes me think that you're clear opposition, and you're not actually legit. What the heck? So what else is there?
So I've sent some in the chat today, and you can look at the picture yourself, and I don't think I need to explain what these pictures are about.
Trying to manipulate people, trying to do some interesting things. You said something about Manchester and the clean air, scrapping the clean air zone.
Yes, the clean air zone, well, at least the clean air zone. They were planning. A couple of years ago, they were planning to have it in place across Manchester. However, due to controversial backlash, it was put under review, figuring out how could they go ahead with it without causing too much of a fuss. And just quite recently, this week, they said, you know what, we're not going to do it. We're getting rid of it altogether. So yeah, that's the end of clean air zone in Manchester.
The Great Wealth Transfer. What will happen when boomers pass on? Granddads will destroy our family. They have inheritance disputes. People will fight over money, which is true. How are families protecting their nest egg from inheritance tax? They're not. That's the thing. A lot of them will get taxed into oblivion. If they have anything.
Senate confirms Kash Patel to lead FBI.
Good. BP investors demand vote on any plans to scrap climate drill. Why should we give them a vote? Because it just means that they're going to stop us from doing that. Stop BP from doing that.
Apple's Murderbot series starts streaming in May. One of Apple's next big sci-fi shows has a premiere date. The company announced that its adaptation of Murderbot, based on the novels by Martha Wells, will debut on Apple TV Plus with 2 episodes on May 16th.
Does anybody actually watch Apple TV Plus?
Not a lot of people.
I'm honestly surprised that they don't just merge on our streaming service, or Apple doesn't acquire on our streaming service.
Yeah, at its current size, it's just not enough.
In my opinion, I'm surprised they haven't tried to just acquire Macs, because let's be real here, Apple could easily acquire them for pennies. For very cheap.
That's true.
But some people did say maybe they'd eventually just acquire Apple. Apple would eventually acquire Disney. I don't honestly think it's worth the value, though.
Yeah, Apple is a multi-trillion-dollar company, so it's going to take another.
I don't think Disney's worth the money it is right now, anyway.
Yeah.
And if they were to do it, would they just buy the streaming, the media park business, or would they sell the park businesses to someone else? That's a question. Rumble sues Brazilian Supreme Court.
Okay.
Glencore's looking to leave the London stock market.
Okay. SEC launches cyber unit to combat cryptocurrency fraud.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're going to go after Trump and that?
Well, let's just see what they say.
Because didn't Trump launch some cryptocurrency things on this thingy?
There was a cryptocurrency launched under his name, but I'm not sure if he was directly responsible for it.
I think Argentina's Malay also did a crypto rug pull as well. Or took part in one. What else is there in the news?
Germany is preparing for elections. Likely majority coalition, policy on Ukraine, and what worries voters most. German voters go to the polls Sunday to elect a new parliament that will determine how the country is run for the next 4 years.
Who will?
Germany.
A new parliament?
Yes, in the next few days or weeks, there's going to be another federal election in Germany.
Does that mean the AFD is going to overtake them and win?
Well, I'm not saying the AFD is going to win most seats, but the AFD will certainly get more seats than they did previously. Like, the growth of that party is there, like with reform. But it's not going to be enough for AFD to actually get the most seats in the Bundestag. UAE says it rejects any attempt to displace Palestinian people.
Again, here's the idea. Trump is going to get Egypt, right?
Yeah.
So the idea, this idea for Trump is, right, we're going to Egypt and monitor Egypt, the big Middle Eastern countries, right, that are very wealthy, right? They should
Yeah.
take a stance in it thingy, right? Help build a canal, partner with Israel to build a new, nice, powerful canal, where effectively they allowed that can be used to help make money, that'll be able to use to help transport their massive oil. This would benefit the state, do massive benefits for for the Middle East, and it would also have massive benefits for Israel. It would also force Israel to be nice and not have to attack people. Also, Trump's thinking of giving every American household a free $5,000 Doge payment.
Oh yeah, the dividends from Doge.
God, this guy's a fucking idiot. God, I hate Starmer. They're making a big deal. Nigel supposedly signed away ownership of Reform.
And giving it to the members. At least control of
That's what
Reform.
he's saying, but is that actually true? That's the question.
Good question. Because if he hasn't done that already, he can still do what he wants with Reform. But on the other hand, if he does give the power, the ownership that he
It's
has,
basically reported to a board that you are part of and appointing a constitution agreed by a few thousand at conference, whereas it's now over 20,000, about as democratic as Putin. Let us, in 1683, over my dead body, we will defeat this invasion. 2025, let us into Europe. Come and bring more friends, man. JD Vance is to meet Stormer next week. And you suppose they're going to grill him over. So what else is there?
G foreign ministers meet in South Africa without US on board.
Who? G7.
No, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov arrived in South Africa on Thursday for a two-day meeting of the Group of 20 Nations, where top European diplomats are expected to reinforce their support for Ukraine, and US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is a high-profile absentee.
Starmer's plan for British troops to police Ukraine's border slammed. Let's control our own borders first.
So, I knew it wouldn't be a good idea from the get-go. Even Jody said
I
it.
don't want British troops in Ukraine. I want them here. Because if they send them abroad, I wouldn't be surprised if the Muslim Jihadist Brotherhood tries some shit. Wouldn't be
Like, if,
surprised if the Muslim Jihadists try some shit. Or the fucking illegals are in this country, but are majority Muslim, will try some shit.
if you're going to
Yeah,
send troops abroad, at least
I don't want troops in Ukraine right now when we have a threat of jihadists that, quite honestly, would not be surprised 10, 20 years from now if they fucking try and overthrow this country.
oh
And
yes.
that's my honest truth. I honestly am concerned that these jihadists that come into this country, and certainly these people that don't believe in this country, don't respect our way and our ways and traditions, and are simply here to take advantage of us. We'll start some shit. E.g., maybe they start and get people angry. Maybe they fucking mock. Maybe they keep on going massive Muslim mercy killings. Or maybe they fucking start a revolt. In the two places that they actually control down, they force the country to they start a revolution to secede from the UK. That's my concerns. That's why I don't want any foreign troops, at least of Britain, to move away or to go fight abroad. Because I think we've got foes that are domestic that, quite honestly, would like to start a revolution. But who knows? So what else is there?
why Albania is making weird buildings.
We're
Good
building
question.
somebody.
Instead of grey, they're using colors. Instead of flat, they are using shapes. And instead of boring, they are making it fun. I don't blame them. And it's drawing a lot of tourists too, apparently.
Well, that's probably their goal to draw a lot of tourists.
Yeah,
I mean, like, no one would show up to a place where it's flat and
exactly.
boring. I mean, shoot, if Europe was flat and boring, you think there'd be
This
the
is
amount of I can't imagine Biden saying anything.
No, I don't mean him, but I mean his fucking people. I can imagine him saying, fuck you, Putin, fucking in a bunker. I can imagine them saying that.
Imagine.
Yeah. They're going to be auditing Fort Knox, Eric. They're going to be auditing Fort Knox. Fucking brilliant. I love this I love the new American administration. They seem to be getting shit done.
You know, it's cool. It is what it is.
It's good for now. It'll be good to see what he does. It'll be good to see what happens. Seems to be getting shit done.
I think the next step
Don't
is
get me wrong, there'll be certain things that he won't be able to do instantly, but he's doing so far. He's doing what he said. He said he'd deport people. He's deported people. He said he'd fucking look at get rid of corruption, certain forms of corruption. I don't think he'll get rid of all of it, but I think he'll definitely clear out a bit.
Next step, become king.
I think he will be king. Imagine Emperor Trump of America.
I'm not excited.
It won't happen, but
But it's gonna happen.
it'll happen. I think there's already people making the case. Why not have a third term?
I think
people are begging him for it. You think that, Jamie?
Yeah, all has to be done is repeal the 22nd Amendment.
Oh, I think he could. I think it'd be interesting if he does become king, the first king of America. Donald J. fucking Trump. They did say. Do you remember? There's also a book about Baron Trump, the last king, the last president of America.
Really?
Baron Trump. Yes.
That-
There's a book series about Baron Trump, a time traveler that goes to the medieval Europe, and is the son of the last president of the United States of America.
But hold on. So they're pretty much telling us Trump might be the last president. They're pretty much telling us this.
It's a book series from the 1800s.
Oh, it's from the 1800s.
Yeah, look it up. Baron Trump.
You think that's why Trump named his son Baron?
And it also describes effectively Trump Towers in New York.
So wait, this stuff was written in the 1800s.
Look it up. Baron Trump novels. 1889 to 1893. By an American author and laird, Ingersoll Lockwood. It remained obscure until 27 when they received media attention for perceived similarities between their protagonist and US President Donald Trump and his son Baron Trump. Lockwood published the first novel, Travelers and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog, Bugler, in 1889, and his sequel, Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, in 1893. The novels recount the adventures of a German boy, Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, who goes by Baron Trump, as he discovers weird underground civilizations, offends the natives, flees from his entanglements with local women, and repeats this pattern until arriving back home at Castle Trump. The novels were part of a US trend in US children's literature that responded to the demand of fantastic adventure stories triggered by Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventure in Wonderland.
You can't tell me that this isn't.
I know, right?
Okay, at this point, you can't tell me that this all isn't staged then.
Nope. You can't.
They told us in the 1800s.
Some people say it's just coincidence.
It's all part of the script.
Yep.
Coincidence, my rear end, bro. Really?
Only time will tell.
Is his name actually even Trump?
No, it's Trump. It is Baron. No, it was German. Wilhelm Baron Tarump. But he also going with the name Baron Trump. So it's basically German.
Oh, Baron. Baron Trump.
Yes, but he likes to go by the name Baron Trump.
Okay. Coincidence?
Yeah, it's questionable. Was Baron Trump predicted in a book published in 1893? Baron Trump lived in a castle named Castle Trump. Baron was a character described as intelligent, curious, and somewhat arrogant, guided by his mentor, Don Foam. Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. God.
Wow.
At this point, I really do. There's people saying that Donald Trump or his son Baron is the Antichrist. They have been planning for this happening ever since the released 89, when they released that book about a Baron time travel. I don't believe Trump is a time traveler. I believe they made up this one story to make us think that Trump is the hero when he isn't. MAGA viewed him like he is the second coming of Jesus, aka false prophet. He is their most
I mean,
important puppet.
I mean it's true. People
They
really
did. They
view Trump.
really did. I actually think what he's doing is quite interesting, but
I mean,
I'm
to be
questioning
fair,
it.
I was wondering if Barron Trump was the Antichrist too, and just Trump is just there. I mean, yeah, MAGA does view him as the second coming of Jesus Christ, though. It's kind of sad. But
It's a
what can you
question.
really?
What would you rather have? Would you rather have someone like Biden or someone like Trump? I think I'd rather
Neither.
Trump because at least he's honest.
Well,
We all know
preferably.
he's controlled by Israel. Well, we all know the Russians are controlled by Israel. There was a meeting between Russian Jews and Putin.
Well, preferably, I'd rather have neither. But
Yes, you're not going to get a government without Jews, unless you want a situation like WW2 with Adolf Hitler, which I don't think anybody got any good out of that.
I wonder if he has any. I wonder if Adolf Hitler has any living descendants. Probably.
Oh, he does.
Actually, no.
He does.
Actually, no. Living descendants, just not the same last name, obviously.
Lewin says not with the same last name, but there are rumours, and there were rumours that Angela Merkel had some relations to him. I think it was through and I think Barack Obama through someone else probably has relations to him as well.
So Barack Obama has like white descendants.
Yes,
Okay,
great. No, his mum, no, through stepdaughter, or step through marriage.
okay, and just one of them got with a black person
Yes.
during. That actually makes
They
sense.
say that Eva von Braun, right, Hitler's missus, right, before she passed away, she allegedly survived and she fled to Africa.
Really?
That's what they say. Someone said it anyway. I think it's Eva von Braun that. Maybe it wasn't Eva von Braun, but maybe it was someone else. But
I mean, hey,
there's rumors there's rumors that Hitler actually fled to Argentina and actually survived in Argentina.
if his missus went
But
to
whether he
Africa,
did or not's the question. They say that the person in that bunker was not even Hitler, and the CIA for a long, long time was curious if he actually did or not. Thought he was still alive.
hey, Hitler might be dead now, though.
Oh, he's long dead now, but in the 60s, 1970s, and 90s, it was still concerned. People still thought he was still there. Is Zelensky a dictator?
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. People say, oh, he's not, but how is he not a dictator? He suspended elections because of war. That's not an excuse. You take advantage of people from other foreign countries. You money launder. You're clearly getting a take. You're clearly on the take. You have no interest in ending this war because why would you if you fucking getting paid off this? He knows deep down he's going to be the fall guy. He knows that deep down, a couple of years later, he will be tried in front of fucking Nuremberg trials for the war crimes he committed.
Yeah, he probably does.
He'll try either that because he'll talk about the people that really run the country, right? People that really run in Ukraine and the people that are really in power and the people behind the scenes that are making bank off the money laundering. If they feel like their lives they're being threatened, do you think they're going to care about fucking having this bloke fucking killed or castrated or murdered? The people that killed Epstein didn't. They might even kill him. Wouldn't surprise me because he's a threat to them. Mr. Clarkson, Jeremy Clarkson, calls Keir Starmer a full-on communist. I don't blame him. I think he kind of is. So what else is that?
Let's say
Kash Patel is now confirmed as director of the FBI.
yes.
Kash Patel.
Italy gets upset about song contest, then Frederick also bans the
Why are they talk about the song contest?
Espresso Macchiato from Estonia contains Italian clicks like mafia and spaghetti. Away with it, basta. And if that's the case, Strada del Sole must also be removed. A few remarks about real funlessness and right censorship madness. Well, at least that's the rough summary of the story.
Got you. Alright, so pretty much, yeah, I really have no comment about it. And systems is just unfortunate, but
But it was bound to happen. Like, a song that has clicks and stereotypes,
It's a shame
of
that he
Italy,
freaking.
and
It's a shame that Matt Gaetz freaking surrendered. I would have loved to see him do some interesting thing as Attorney General, but oh well.
maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Maybe he was blackmailed by the fucking Jews that really run the world. Why does nobody ever talk about the fact that freaking the Jews run the world?
I mean, a lot of people talk about it nowadays.
But why is it everyday people don't know that? Are they thick or are they just fucking clueless?
I feel like some of them know it, they just don't say anything.
Or are they just fucking deluded?
Yeah, that too. Some people would rather just stay. Some people would rather just stay in a bubble and just be comfortable. So I mean, some people don't even really care. Me, I care to an extent, but I also don't care because there's nothing I can do about
Real. We've got to let things run. Let's just say what we're on the show.
It's all a stage, you know.
Do you think they'll actually get away with saying there's still World War III?
Yes.
Jamie?
I thought we're already in it.
Well, we already are. Do you think they'll actually freaking get away with it? Or do you think they'll actually be able to end World War III without major bloodshed? Or do you think it's all still going to play out? Do you think they'll actually get a peace deal with Russia? Or do you think nothing will happen with it? Or do you think it's just for show?
I think most of it's just for show.
A lot of things are for show.
So you think we'll have a couple peace years then before they actually get to the real bullshit, they get shenanigans?
Yes,
That's
we're
possible.
Yes,
or are they actually just going to freaking go cold hard turkey and say, "Oh, we're going to war now"? Or are they just going to wait? Who knows?
Wait, with the United States?
I don't think America really wants to fight that war. I don't think they really want to lose because they know they're going to lose. They know they should know firsthand what happened to us. We lost everything after that war. I'm surprised Britain, of all things, right? We lost our empire because of two world wars. I'm surprised we're that fucking desperate to get back into one. And for who? For what? What do we gain from it? What do we gain from this war? I'm sorry, but what do we gain from it?
You guys aren't done fighting yet.
What do we gain from it, though? We don't. Like, fair enough, you can. What? Like, Eric, I'm going to be brutally honest. What did Britain gain? Jamie, what did we gain from World War One? World War Two, at least. Any territory we gained, we gave it up.
You said territory, but we gave it up.
With fucking Russia, you can say they gained something. They gained half of Poland and half of Eastern Europe. At least with America, you can say, well, we gained some new territory. We gained Hawaii and some other territory. Not to mention we gained Japan for a while, and the Philippines. Also, we became a superpower.
Hey,
whereas Britain, we became a fucking obscure country. We became poor for the first time in 1800s. The everyday rich was even poor. All the rich people, they fled the country and never came back. Sure. And then after we found our way again, we had to drag poor old Winston Churchill out of the fucking closet. He was fucking dementia patient, right? We had to drag him out simply just, you bastards, just give us some money. We had to drag a fucking retired man just to gain money from you lot. Because we were that struggling.
How old was he?
How old was Winston Churchill when they dragged Winston off to America? To get money off off of America? Jamie?
But I'll have to check that.
Yeah. Either way, we had to use Winston Churchill, the only fucking Brits that you actually liked, just to get some fucking money out of you so we could survive.
I'll be honest, I wonder what would have been like if all of us were born in like the 1800s. Well, actually, I probably know what it would have been like for me, but I wonder what it would have been like for you guys.
What are you saying?
I said I wonder what would have been like for all of us if we were born in the 1800s.
Well, Asian. You said we were born in Asian countries.
Oh, no, I said in the 1800s.
1800s, you most likely would have been slaves.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that.
You've got to imagine it wasn't just black slaves, there were white slaves as well. There's probably more white slaves than blacks, we're being honest. Specifically, women, there was tons of women slaves, specifically in Middle Eastern countries. They used a lot of women as fucking slaves for sex, basically, in those countries, decades ago. And they only recently got rid of slavery. And even in Africa, there's still a shitload of slavery. It's just something we don't talk about because we don't want it. It kind of makes us feel awkward and sad and bad. But it still happens.
Yeah, it's a slavery.
Instead of stopping it, these people, our leftists now want to encourage it somehow.
Not the leftist.
Now, the funny thing is, I'm concerned that literally we might end up bringing slavery back because of these crazy people in this country. Specifically, the ones that want to push Islam. I'm concerned that some of these people, innocent people, might end up becoming slaves.
Yeah, and it's gonna be all
or even
black,
some
white,
parts I'm concerned
Asian,
about. But
could be Asian, Hispanic, all of them.
what else is there?
We'll all be in the fields together as one race.
Well, the illegals come here and try and rape and pillage our children and our land and our elderly.
Oh yeah.
So patriotic.
Yeah, nothing's more patriotic than slavery.
KFC headquarters moves from Kentucky to Texas.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
How come?
Money, taxes.
Oh.
What do you think?
Why am I not surprised?
Of course it's taxes. I don't blame them. That, and let's be real here, it's Texas is becoming one of the biggest markets, if not more powerful than thingy. Why would you want to take advantage of being part of one of the biggest states? Not to mention, it's cool. It might allow you to freaking open up and expand in Texas as well.
Plus, it's probably safer.
Safer, not to mention. Well,
probably.
Kind of maybe a bit safer to a certain extent. But again, Texas is still a high Republican state. Texas used to be a massive swing state, right? But there's no way in hell that's a swing state now. It's fucking pure fucking red. In Kentucky, it's been red for decades. Ohio, it used to be red. Used to be something else, but it's now red.
I'll be honest, if Trump is the last president, what would happen to J.D. Vance then?
Never said he couldn't be the prime minister.
Good point. If in the event Trump decides to make a dynasty, then it's likely Vance would be a prime minister of the United States in what could be a new age.
It allows Trump to do what he needs to do, right? And they prepare the next dynasty and they have Barron take over, right?
Then they would have to keep having kids if they want to keep that.
The thing is, though, there will probably be some states that will rebel. E.g. New York, e.g. California, maybe Louisiana, maybe some other states as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been seeing some people go back to who they were before, because probably because it was easier before. Like, just whether it's like, deconverting from some ideology or any faith. I see some people going back to like who they were before. I don't know, probably because they saw it as easier.
Yeah. I don't know what will happen. I personally do believe it'll be interesting to know.
So, is there anything else in the news?
New Chinese tech turns old wind turbine blades into asphalt and concrete.
What?
Yeah, apparently, yes.
Don't want to get the whole use for freaking renewables. It's just a waste of money. It's not profitable. This is coming from a pure hard capitalist, a pure hard oil man. I love my oil and gas. Maybe it's just the man that's it. Maybe it's just me, but I live. Maybe it's just where I live, but I love oil and gas. Pure fucking petroleum, pumping oil out of the fucking North Sea, or at least we used to until fucking Commie Starmer got involved.
But Rick,
makes so much money.
You need to buy an electronic car so that we can control you.
Yes, even though they can control you for the fucking oil and petrol cars. They have trackers and that. They have the systems. They can control you. They know exactly. You're being recorded when you drive those cars. I always feel like I'm being watched when I drive a gas vehicle. I still drive that because I think they're more reliable. They say, but you should rely on public transport. If I relied on public transport, I would never be able to freaking work. I'd be unemployed. That's the freaking truth. I could never rely on public transport. It's that fucking unreliable. Like, in some places, there's only doing one bus stop one bus stop every 2-3 hours. Every 2 hours. It'd be unreliable, especially the hours I worked. I would be out of a job.
What do you do then?
Forbid that. This
what
country
do
is
you do
just
then?
going down the hill. Who knows?
Who knows?
What else is there?
A British couple detained in Iran after adventure trip goes.
Why would a British couple go into Iran? They know it's a fucking terror watch. Why the hell would you go to Iran?
2 British citizens are in custody in Iran. They were on their motorcycles in the Middle East conducting research on what it's like to lead a good life, no matter where you are, from when they ventured into Iran and were detained.
Why would you go to Iran? Ain't they put on a terror watch list to not go there? Don't the frickin' Iran hate British people? What do they hate
I mean,
Americans?
they wanted to experience the culture, you know.
There's experience the culture and then asking for stupidity, asking for your fucking death. But heck, what am I supposed to say? People are idiots. Oh well. So what else is there?
I think there's some gay actress, like she's black. I think she's gay and she's black, and I think I saw on Twitter when I was deleting pretty much all my tweets because I just wanted to start over that she was going to be playing Jesus Christ or something like that.
Mm.
She's bald too. I forgot her name, but I know she played in the
She's the
movie
one that's trying to play Jesus
Christ. Yes, I forgot her name though.
Her
But I
first
know
name
she.
is
that's an
Cynthia.
abomination.
What happened?
Her first name is Cynthia. She played Elphaba in the Wicked movie.
Yeah, that witch, right?
Yes, the Green Witch, Elphaba.
Not gonna lie. How was? Did any of you guys watch that movie?
No.
No, I didn't watch the Captain America movie either.
Why?
I don't want to give Disney my money.
Yeah, they don't deserve it.
I don't want to give them my money, and let's be real here. I can think of better things to spend my money on than see the shitty Disney movie I can watch on Disney Plus a couple months from now. Don't get me wrong, I'm still keeping Disney Plus just so I can watch movies and watch stuff now and again, but
You technically are kind of still giving them your money.
mm,
Yeah, but it is what it is, though.
if it is what it is.
I will say this, man. I'll be honest. I don't think Disney is ever going to change, and they're always going to just.
Yeah, I think they'll be forced to change because let's be real here, unless they want to stay in business.
I mean, shoot. Every company, every major network runs off of nostalgia.
In my
Just like
my honest view, I wouldn't be surprised if Perishing Square, Triton Capital, Elon Musk, and a bunch of other people don't make an acquisition for fucking Disney. And maybe even the US government. Some of the pension funds of the US government don't get involved.
what would Elon Musk call Disney Plus? X Plus?
I don't know, but I personally think Perishing Square. I think Perishing Square, I think Triad Asset Management, I think Baring Capital, and a bunch of other, maybe Apollo Asset Global Management, KKR, and a bunch of others might even join in with them, simply just because they see it as an opportunity to make money, right? I think Disney 2-3 years from now will be on the heads of vultures like KKR, Apollo Global, and Pershing Square. I think all of these guys, a lot of private equity companies, will see an opportunity here. Disney is that fucked brand mentally, right? We buy it now, right? We might be able to sell. If we can salvage it, put fucking people that actually know what they're fucking doing in. We could salvage this, rebuild it, take it private, sack everybody, sack the whole fucking shit of it, sack the weak staff, the useless people, hire people that know what they're fucking doing, and then a couple of years later we re-IPO the thing for fucking profits.
I'm not gonna
Reap the
lie.
benefits. I honestly think Disney is getting to the point where it might actually be prime private equity territory. I personally would, if I had the money, I personally would buy Disney simply just because I think there's an opportunity to freaking make money off it private equity wise. And I think Perishing Square, I think Polo Global Management, I think some of the really big guys, even Musk, I think he's interested in taking that company private because I think he realizes there's opportunities here to make money. And I think that, quite honestly, Disney represents a big portion of America, the American dream. People used to think of Disney. It basically used to be the pinnacle of family entertainment. I honestly do believe that some big private equity firm, and maybe or Musk, will acquire Disney in the next 4 years. I once said this. I think Trump's next term will be good for business. There'll be lots of deal making being made.
Have you guys heard of that asteroid apparently that's going to be hitting, the Earth in 10 years?
Asteroid.
Yeah, the news. Yeah, apparently the news said something about that. You didn't hear about that?
Nope, not heard it at all.
I think we talked about it at one point.
I never heard about it at all. That's been put on the news.
Well, yeah, supposedly an asteroid is going to hit Earth in 10 years.
Or they use
And I'm
that as an
like,
excuse to freaking get all the countries together under one country. Is that
I
what they're
suppose.
using? They're not using Project Bluebeam. They're using Project Asteroid to create a
That,
one world government.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It is kind of strange how like they're saying this now. So I guess we're gonna have to wait for 10 years until something happens.
Anyway, it's 10 years. What difference does it make? We'll all be dead anyway. People say that China's population will go down to 400 million.
I'm not gonna lie. We've been saying for years that China's population is going down, yet they're still here. How?
Don't get me
Are they
wrong. I think their births are struggling. I think they are struggling birth wise, but I think America's struggling birth wise as well.
That's true.
I personally think North Korea's probably struggling as well.
Well, yeah, no, stop. Yeah, North Korea. Yeah, I know in Korea they're definitely struggling. It's unfortunate, but
Supposedly they're forcing the freaking on people. They have to have a poop quota and that, so they have to. Yeah, it's weird like that. They're having struggling to get manure for freaking farming and agriculture, so they're forcing the citizens to have a quota, collect for herbicides to make them allowed to. Yes, some of the North Koreans say like, well, is our country? We must be that much. Our country must be that bad. No other country has a quota like this. I don't think there is, apart from me. I don't even think Africa's that bad.
You said you don't think what?
I don't even think Africa's that bad. I still think that Africa will end up. What do you think the end goal for Africa will be?
I think the African economy is going to grow at an unprecedented rate that we could even comprehend.
More children, like more birth rates, or
well, that's one aspect, but besides the birth rate,
fuck no.
It's going to happen anyway. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen.
Their population needs to go down. There should never be there should be no 2 billion Africans. There should be less than a billion.
The average African is poorer than most people in the world. Of course, they're going to have high birth rates to compensate for the dire conditions that they live in.
I mean, hey man.
Wait, so you're telling Jamie? Are you telling me that the way to make to create to upper birth is to have to be the poorest country, the poorest?
I mean,
well, that's not the only aspect.
You're telling me. It's quite freaking poetic, isn't it?
I'm not gonna lie. I guess in order to up the birth rate here,
we have to all be fucking struggling as hell, like slaves.
That's one aspect. We also have to be in such dire conditions to the point we have to adapt to higher fertility rates.
I mean that, or you just have to let the Africans do their thing. And I'm kidding.
This is just like in Victorian times when sanitary conditions were so bad, like children as young as 3 to 5 would die prematurely because of such conditions. That's why the birth rates back then were so high. But after advancements of healthcare, less children were unalive from its dire sanitary conditions, and then by the time there's so many children being born, the birth rate just went down.
Wait, Dame, so you're telling us because we have it so easy, the birth rate is going down? But
yes, because there's no need for women to reproduce more children. Because
I think the also reason is that we've given women choices. This girl called this man called Homath, right? Basically stated it simple. We gave humans a choice on who their partner should be, right? Give women a choice on who their partner should be, and that's the reason why the birth rates are down. So effectively, we've all got to be miserable and be miserable in marriage simply to keep the population up.
We just at least need a reason to reproduce in order for the birth rates to go high.
Well, look, man, if the burner performance is that great in Africa, man, I guess I can go.
What was I saying again? You've also got the fact that you give them choice. You give people choice. You give people we've been giving women too much choice, too much freedom.
Exactly.
Which has kind of caused to the point where birth rates went down. Because because certainly most women they have a certain type. They want to go for a certain type of person.
Yes, sir.
And the guys, well, they think they can get the 10s. Girls think they can get the 10s, whereas men they think they want the 5s or the 4s, but they can't get the 5s or the 4s because they're too busy chasing the 10s. and thinking that they're not good enough, right? Which ends up to having everybody not having anybody. And also, the reason why the system worked back then is because women were engaged at a certain age, and they were already assigned them about.
Yep.
That's the
that's
reason why
true.
India's population is so big, because they still have the system of, we assign them a husband.
You know what I wonder?
What?
This might sound random, but I do wonder if in the 1800s there were white people who secretly like had a relationship with slaves. I do wonder.
Oh,
that.
there was.
Yeah, that was a time like that at some point.
Thomas Jefferson.
Got you.
And others.
Okay. That's all I want to know. But anyways, it's like, we gave pretty much women a choice, and, women have a type. There are women who like white, there are women who like black.
They're always going to go for the people, the 5s and the 10s.
Yeah.
People that they can't get, and the men that don't really want them. But in the past, the men that nobody wouldn't want, the women that nobody really wanted at the time, they became spinsters.
Yeah. I would say, like,
they were taken in by men, or they were taken by men.
I think certain men compromise, when a woman.
Well, they have to in this day and age.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't want to fucking be alone for that. Women don't feel like they have to compromise, but they do.
Well, you
Everybody
do.
has to compromise.
They do. Women, when they get older, they age like milk. Well, not all of them,
but vast majority have to compromise. So what else is there?
I'm gonna send something in the chat, and you can look for yourself.
Cool.
Okay.
Have we finally reached peak truck?
Peak what?
Peak truck.
More than.
As in a percentage of the productions of vehicles being made of a particular vehicle model, like there's more SUVs produced than sedans, wagons, and minivans, etc.
Again, there's a thing, for some reason not many like to talk about it, but there's a thing called supply and demand. If there's not a demand for a product, then people will not make it.
That's true.
Unless you're a fucking idiot that wants to fucking put. Unless you're an idiot middle manager that just freaking overstacks the thing, takes in too much stock, quite honestly, knowing you're probably not going to sell it all, but you do it anyway, because you're hoping you want to fucking sell it, you'll sell it. Like, there was a Valentine's Day promo, right? A couple of days back, a week back, right? We had a certain amount of stock that we're supposed to take in. They decided, we're going to take double the amount we need, simply because they think we're going to sell it. Ended up on the day, we ended up wasting it, or put it to clearance.
I've been hearing a lot about. On Valentine's Day, I was hearing a lot about Galentine's Day, where the girls just hang with each other, I guess. In hindsight, that's sad.
One girl and another girl?
Yeah, because they're women, it's not seen as sad, but in hindsight, it's pretty
sad.
It just means you're single.
Why not just freaking?
Yeah, bro, imagine if there was something for guys on Valentine's Day. That'd just be gay.
It'd be simply going to a bar.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Trying to pick up single women, pretty much. Or just going to the bar.
Actually, maybe not, because sometimes certain women sometimes find that creepy just going to a bar now. But then how again do you meet people? Because they don't want to get pepper sprayed. Do you blame them?
Yeah.
Or they don't want to be classed. You just tried to assault me when you freaking didn't. I just tried to talk to you.
Yeah, like women are automatically going to think you're creepy. It's like that's the problem. We used to be men back in the day. We used to smoke fat cigars. Now we smoke.
You can't smoke. Well, you can, but.
They're just vaping now.
I don't like the way that women dress nowadays. I don't like the way men dress nowadays. Half the time they just dress like chavs. All I see people that just wear jackets, puffer jackets, or like just normal jackets. I just think it's weird. Well, youngsters, it's just weird. See people in different clothing and that, but it's mainly a lot of the women they wear the same thing. Some have personality, some dress differently, but a lot of them are the same. It's either sweaters, it's a hoodie. Sometimes it's a nice overcoat. It's mainly the ones that are maybe a little bit more modest, a little bit more dressed. Some actually maybe have some culture or were raised up kind of right.
Pretty much, there's no substance in how people dress.
Yeah, they all dress the same. I even said it to one of the people I work with, right? Like, most women, they just dress the same. Like, there's no difference. Like, it's the same outfit, same trousers, same hoodies.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but
No difference. You tried to, I don't think you could work them out with it.
it definitely is a sad sight to see, but what are you really going to do?
HSBC delays net zero emissions target by 20.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
HSBC delays net zero emission target by 20 years.
I think Barclays said something about it as well. I think supposedly, yeah, I think all the bank, Lloyd's as well, Lloyd's is doing it as well. I think NatWest as well. I think they're all trying to roll back their targets. So what does that tell you? If the banks are thinking of that, then what does that tell you?
The targets are unrealistic to begin with.
The fact that maybe frickin' Starmer might be looking to frickin' backtrack?
Who knows?
If the banks are already putting that into their system, and we all know they have secret information that we don't, do they know that someone's going to get sacked? There's rumours that they want to frickin' reduce the Iceland limit to about 4k from 20 grand. Would they ever do that?
They could.
I personally don't think it's a good idea because I think it might make people shareholders, or at least the people that invest in the companies, right? I think it might make a lot of people a lot poorer. And also, it might actually make a lot of companies lose a lot. Share prices go down. Not people notice it, right? But there's a lot of people that invest in their ISAs in the UK that quite honestly hold a shitload of shares in Tesco or the local supermarkets or some of the big major staples, like including me. I don't have any plans on selling them anytime soon. It's mainly just it generates me income, which I can use to help fund my retirement. I don't plan on retiring anytime soon, but yeah.
What do you plan on retiring?
When I can afford it. If I can't afford it, I still have my suspicions, Eric. I'll be working until I'm a decrepit old man. I'm 25 now. I personally believe I'm probably not going to be able to retire until I'm 80. Or if I'm going to be able to retire at all. Sometimes I debate if I'm ever going to be able to retire.
Oh, man.
But I feel fucking worse for you guys. You guys don't even have freaking healthcare. At least our healthcare for now is at least funded. Is effectively free. It's shite, but it's free. American euros is in. But again, what would you rather have? Would you rather have functional healthcare or something that's free?
Something that's functional.
Something that's free.
But I'd go functioning.
Look, even if it's free, is it worth taking?
Is it worth it if it's not functional?
Actually, yeah, you're right. I'll take one.
Like, even they say that Trump thinks that the NHS is great. I don't honestly see the fucking thing compared to what it was 20 years ago. It's freaking down the shitter. At least by the time 2015, you could say it was still worth something. So what does the Britain still have that's actually worth something? Do you think our fishing rights would make us a valuable target for an acquisition by America?
Yes.
Good to know. Do you think because of our fishing rights, do you think they would be willing to acquire the entire country? Make a state.
Maybe not the entire country, but something.
Entire country. You can take all our freaking island territories. You'll have an island right next to fucking Argentina. You can use it for military bases. You have Gibraltar, which is a freaking good next to Gibraltar Strait, which you can use as a potential way for a trade. You could make a potential canal if you really wanted to across that border. Might piss people off, but you could do it. You've also got some territories that need some territories. So what else is there?
Google develops AI co-scientists to aid researchers.
Why do I feel like that'll be biased?
What do you think, Risk?
Even though they freaking say we love Trump now, I don't believe them for the fucking slightest.
Well, they're saying that because since Trump is in the White House, if any of the big corporations in the US go on Trump's bad side, they're worried that he's going to do something to them.
You've also got to think about it. Let's be real here. It's also good what Trump's in because it means that he can literally stop he can put a stop to the freaking EU trying to abuse their power against American corporations in Europe, which might be able to. He said, if you try and freaking do something against European corporations, against American corporations, we'll take you to the cleaner, effectively. Love or hate Trump, he's pro-America, pro-American business, and he actually likes Britain a lot. As much as the mainstream media like to say, oh, he hates Britain, he doesn't. He's probably the most pro-British president that we've had in a long time.
He even goes to Scotland for golfing every now and then. So
he can.
Yeah, that's the point. How can he hate Britain?
I personally think he cares a lot about Scotland. I personally think he'd rather have. I think if he got the opportunity, he'd probably take Scotland as a state. Because think about the opportunities of business he could do there, technology upgrades, the amount of economic benefits.
That's true. So, is there anything else in the news?
What
I think
else?
that's us.
Okay.